What's going on, y'all? Back with another video. I want to talk about how the narcissist has an outrageous sense of importance. They think that everyone should praise them just because they woke up this morning. And the person who gives them a regular greeting or just passes them by like you're just, you know, another person, you're no important than anyone else. They take offense to that. They're very defensive. You know, they come up with ways of thinking that if you're not for them, then you're against them. You know, narcissists think pretty simple minded. And I read something on Facebook the other day that said sometimes they want you out of the room, or sometimes they don't invite you because they don't want you to steal the attention or something like that. And that's true. Because even your silence is golden, so golden that people notice it. Like silence is loud, and people notice when a person is the quietest one in the room. And the narcissists, they notice it also. That's why they need you to be like everyone else around them. Mostly praise them. It'll really help if you just praise them. You know, They expect you to do just so much for them. Like if they're just that important. Narcissists, they even try to make up just bogus arguments. They pick with you until you finally give them a response. When you give them a response, they loud cap you and say things like, like, why you keep bothering me? Like, you don't have a life that you have to bother me that much, like on a daily basis, every day. Every time I look around, you're saying something about me. You just can't keep my name out your mouth, and you should get paid for every time you speak my name. You will be rich by now. They say things like that, like, you're not that important. And first of all, I'm not thinking of you that way. You're bothering me. But then narcissists, they do the thing to where they throw rocks and hide hands. And the moment, the old trick when you hit someone that's standing in the front of someone else, and then you turn your head and the person turns around and hit the one behind them. You're completely innocent. Those are the type of games that narcissists play. Very childish. Just anything to get a rise out of you because they are so bored and miserable with the fact that you're not giving them any attention. They really do believe that they're just that important. Their sense of importance is so out of this world till they think that, of course, rules don't apply to them. And they even feel so important, they'll sabotage a good thing that's happening for them. They will sabotage it because they're not getting enough attention. It's just not enough attention. It's just never enough for a narcissist. Um, I don't think I told y'all about the narc at work. Well, she's gone. Quick update. She kept complaining and complaining and complaining to one of the administrators about her job duties. And it's like when I first got there, she just wanted to take over everything. But see how quickly they forget that they volunteer themselves to do so much as a way to kind of showboat and be that, what they call it, the communal narc, to where they got to be known as the helper. Oh, such and such is that person known for doing good deeds for everyone. And it's like she had piled so much on herself to where she couldn't handle it anymore, and she was getting overwhelmed with work. So when she complained by blowing up at the administrator who called her supervisor. They had a meeting and they gave her one more chance. But she felt like, this is not how I wanted it to be. I wanted to go out with a bang, and I wanted to be like recognized as being the best worker and I shouldn't be treated that way and this is just unfair. Like she really went off, believing this in her mind because they're so delusional. She believed in her mind that she's just that important. And it's like these things you brought on yourself because no one asked you to assist them with anything. You volunteered to do it. And that's the thing that a narcissist will do, and you got to be careful with that, especially dealing with one in the workplace. Because when I first got there, she just kept volunteering and helping with this and helping with that, and you ain't got to worry about this. I got it. And y'all know, I know already how they operate, so I'm like, Lord, another one. And it's like she just wanted to just completely take over anything I had to do. They love to act like they're giving you a hand so they can look good to other people. They want to be known as this. They want to, make a name for themselves as that person who does that type of thing for people. But I wasn't buying it and I declined it. I don't need your help with anything. I got this. Trust me. And when you dismiss them, of course, they take that as a rejection. But who cares? It is what it is. Deal with it and leave me alone. And they become very worrisome. They just constantly bother you, until you give in and make them feel needed. They just have that sense of importance. They need that to be fulfilled at all times. Um, and so what happened after that is, it's like when she finally realized that she can't have me as supply, like it's not gonna happen. What she did was stop doing the stuff. I think I told y'all about this already. I don't want to keep, bringing up the same thing. But what they do is, they leave you out to be questioned about not doing something. So once they, don't keep their word about it, they hope that maybe you'll get in trouble for it. But they had this agreement with you that no one else knew about. And so if you're questioned about not completing something, it's like you can't put that on them because that's your job, it's your job, stuff like that. And she's thinking that maybe that wouldn't have happened. But the thing is, I had already covered myself because one thing about me, I'm going to clear me. I clears me now. I don't look for an explanation from a narc. I don't need them to explain themselves. I don't confront them or none of that. I have my own strategy. I have my own way to safely clear myself. And I know who I can talk to. That's another thing. You have to know who you could communicate with about things like this because people have to get it. If they don't get it, it's just going to be in one ear and out the other or just become just another thing to talk about, for the sake of gossip. And it's deeper than that when dealing with narcissists. Like, they blend in, but they are so different from the rest, you know. So the thing about it is, she got herself out of there because the administrator, decided to go ahead and get rid of her. And again, she wanted to go out with a bang. She wanted to have this grand exit. She even stole the company's um, supply things that they had the logo on and just different things. She stole it and gave it out to people like if it was hers. And it's like these people really do feel like they are so important. Like nobody cares about you like that. You're just another employee like the rest of us. What makes you stand out so much? And not to judge her for her work title, she's a custodian. We work at a school. And she put herself up there and so high and above everybody else. Like, you a custodian. Stay in your lane and keep this darn school clean. That's all you have to do. I mean, and I'm not saying anything bad about custodians because that's my second job. That's what I do in the evening. So a job is a job. As long as it gets the bills paid, it is what it is. As long as it works for you. But don't go on a job trying to make yourself bigger than you are and trying to put yourself so above everybody else and feel so important to where you overwork yourself, spreading yourself thin and just doing the most to be seen and praised and stuff. Like, it's not genuine. And you know it's not genuine because it's going to come a time when you're going to collapse. You're going to get tired because you pile too much on yourself, and people are going to see that it was all, it was just all a act. It was all a act, you know. And nobody's going to feel sorry for you because when you finally have that big meltdown and reveal your true intentions, people are going to look at you like you're crazy, and they're not going to feel sorry for you because your attitude behind it, that sense of importance and entitlement, is going to turn people off, and no one is going to care enough to show you any type of sympathy. So that's a good thing, not to pay any attention to the narc who needs to be acknowledged all the time. The ones who need constant praise just because they woke up this morning. You know, it's good to keep silent. Silence is golden, and it kills them. They hate it when they're ignored because that tells them that you're rejecting them. They can't handle rejection, and then they try to fight you for it. Just crazy. And that's just how they are all over the world. All over the world. They are in the world, and they're going to be here till the end of time. And we just going to have to learn how to coexist with them and protect ourselves in order to keep the peace in our life because, you know, they're here to stay. They're a part of humanity. Unfortunately, they're here to stay. And we're going to run into them, throughout life. So, it's best to just be prepared and know how to deal with narky people. I'm talking about the dangerous narky people, not just people who got narc traits, because we all have that. You know, I was thinking about like today, like it's a time when we can, those of us who are not a full blown narcissist, covert, and all that kind of stuff, people who are just downright evil and try to hurt others. I was thinking about a way to explain activating your narky trait when you need to. And I look at it as when you do it through manipulation as a form of protection. Because some people think that they can outsmart you by manipulating you and playing with your mind. But it's like, you can get on their level with them as well, but not with the intentions of hurting them like they are trying to do you. So I was just in the car today coming home. I was like, shoot, it's so many times I could have activated my narc trait just to protect myself and get away from this person who really thought they had one on me. And I think that we're all capable of doing it. Again, it's all about intentions. And yeah, just got to know when to use that power, because it's gonna come a time when you're gonna have to outsmart the person who think they're outsmarting you. It's just kind of like staying ahead of the game, because to a narcissist, you know, narcissism is a mind game. People just feel so important to where they have to be in a position of power over other people. Like, God gave man free will. So what gives man the audacity to feel like that they can have power over another person? Like, it don't work like that. I'm not going to give that to you. And I'm just thankful for opening my eyes and realizing that, I got me. And nobody else is entitled to me. Like, you know, and just being bold enough to stand up for who you really are to the narcissist, and not be afraid to just be yourself, be your authentic self, and don't let them chop you down just because you see things different than they do. You're not this negative person, you know, because that's what it's all about. They need you to be as they are, or they try to put you down, constantly criticizing you just because your character is different from theirs. And of course, the more misery loves company. So the more people they have to be like them, to act like them, there's more supply for them. On top of that, they're slowly destroying your character. They need to do that. Narcissists hate genuinely nice, kind hearted, loving people. They hate people like that because they don't know how to feel like that, and they feel like they're going to get more attention than me. And they have to pretend to be that way. But, the act, they can only keep up with the act for so long. But anyway, I didn't mean to go on and on with this um video, but narcissists have a huge sense of importance, and you just got to know how to play them at their own game and just keep silent, ignore them, and let them know that it's not that serious and nobody cares. Well, you don't. I don't care about none of that. So, let them soak in it. Let them get mad. What they gonna do? And even when they flash out, let them have that moment. Continue to keep silent. Just stay silent. Let them have that moment. It's worked for me so far, and I know that it'll work for y'all as well. So that's the end of this video. Thank y'all for watching. Leave your thoughts down below. Talk to you soon.